Hey, I was thinking like, me being in the military for, for 22 years, I was just thinking of like how, with the tempo and the missions and this, just shout out to all my military people, just, first responders, nurses, everybody. It's just that, but the tempo can be so fast paced where you can forget about yourself, suppress things, keep things down, or lose people, in the midst of you going through whatever you're going through. And I think it's important just to, sit and self-reflect on like how you feeling every day, because you can easily, I feel like, lose yourself. And it could set you back, you know what I mean? It could set you back to a point where it can also intensify like your feelings or whatever, traumas or whatever, PTSD stuff that you know, that you have going on. So it's just, I feel like it's important to try to mitigate or try to lighten the load as much as possible. Yeah, lighten the load as much as possible. Like kind of like every day you kind of like shedding things off, you know? I know it's a work in progress, like everything. I feel like it's just always is, always moving and things are going on and things are gonna happen and things are not gonna happen. But I know, if you need to go get help, because I know I seen help numerous of times, just, in therapy and medication if you need it. You got to figure out what works for you. Just like training in the gym, you got to figure out what works for you or mess around and break yourself. So you better brace yourself, fool. No, I'm just. But seriously, you got to do what works for you and how your body responds to things. Or once again, lose sight of yourself. And then what if you get hurt? Like, back to the gym. What if you get hurt? Trying to be like somebody else. Then you gotta be on painkillers and you can't work out. And then, bloop, 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 So it's all about helping each other out. That's really all I had to say. Just helping each other out and then, just giving you, just some takes from my life. So you don't go down down the path of losing yourself where you just, you don't know your head from your tail. Love. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. You know the deal. I love y'all. We're almost at 900 subscribers. Yeah, thank y'all. It's, it's just, it's bigger. It's just, it's bigger. Just think bigger. We gotta think bigger, do bigger, smarter things. Right?